Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm glad you're here this Monday morning. Got a big show lined up, getting ready for a great week here in Panhandle Outdoors. I know you're excited about going to work on Monday morning, and all you retired people, I know you're excited about not going to work. So we'll cover all the bases here. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. Our high today is 68, low 48. Got a little 20-degree span, and we have lost 1 degree again in the water temperature down to 73 degrees. We're looking at our Monday moon phase now. We're going to have it brought to us by Sandhill Seafood up right north of Bozeman. We're looking at a full moon actually Friday night and Saturday night coming up this weekend. So it's going to be full, and there's going to be a good week of getting outdoors. It's going to be waxing on up to a full moon, like I said, Friday and Saturday. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Not much tide today, more of a neap tide. We're basically looking at a high tide this morning at 5:04 a.m., then a low in the middle of the day, then start coming back in. So really it's going to be a good night to go floundering if you can get on up there before the moon starts coming up. So, and the wind's not going to be that bad. It's going to be coming out of north-northwest at about 5 to 8. So I'm looking at a good week of floundering for a couple of nights. You folks are getting out there. I've heard some good reports on the flounder moving. Good reports on catching some mullet this weekend. Some king mackerel caught. So it was still some good stuff going on outdoors. Okay, like I say now, the weather this week's going to be pretty good. Actually, a long-range forecast is calling for Friday. It'll be touching back in at 80 degrees by Friday. So it's not going to be any really cold weather this week. So it's going to be a good week of a fall weather, I think. All right, let's take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's add a name to our pickle jar. Jerry Dunn from Westfield, former teacher over there in Bonifay and all. Jerry, watch the show every morning, and good luck, Jerry. I'm glad you are entering, and we got you in here. We're going to be doing some drawing tomorrow. So let's look at a couple of pictures here. This first picture, Shasta Branson, she's on Facebook a lot with catching fish, and nice king mackerel she caught recently. Nice one right there. And then take a look at the next one, Mark Coward. Michael took his dad hunting, okay? And Mark Coward got a nice buck over there. On his birthday was last week, and Michael Tyndall, and it was a great afternoon. So good job. That's two good pictures right there. I'd mentioned on Friday's show, ran out of time. I just touched base on talking about tree stand safety. I sort of want to finish up on it for a few minutes, then I got a video coming up later on some other things, but I'm really very sincere in talking about tree stand safety. All of us know some folks that are falling out of tree stands. I've had Billy Lessig on the show before, one of my former students, big old offensive tackle for us, and Billy was a fireman, and he fell out of a tree stand, and he's paralyzed from waist down. We got a great attitude about it just from falling out of a tree stand. He came on the show, if you remember, and talked about it, and I just got excited seeing Billy that morning drive up in his truck by himself, get out of the truck by himself and get in his wheelchair lift and all, set it down there. He don't need any help, but he adjusted real well. But he was a good testimonial for fighting through something like that and coming back and doing the very best he can. So tree stand safety, I started looking up some stuff on it and everything, and it's just amazing at all the things you can find. I want to go back. The big thing, I got some posters, and a lot of times the posters sort of explain things a lot better than me talking and all. But look at this one right here. This is how hard will you hit the ground if you fall out of a tree stand? If you're up there 30 feet, you're going. First of all, if you got a harness on and a safety belt, you're not going to fall. Okay, but say if you're up there, 30 feet and you fall, you're going to hit it with actually 10 tons of pressure. Okay. That's going to hurt. Okay, the second one right here in the middle of the page, if you're up there just 20 feet, you got 13,000 pounds of pressure. Then it moves on down. If you're up there actually 16 feet, okay, and then even if you're on 12 feet on the far right, you're still going to hit with 4 tons of pressure. So falling is really, a lot of falls from 10 to 12 feet, and it really hurting people. I mean, really. Okay, this one right here, tree stand safety tips. just make sure you, top left-hand corner, read the manufacturer's instructions on it. Then top right-hand corner, practice climbing with your tree stand. Wear your safety harness. Never hurry, and inspect your equipment. Okay, good one there. 4 things considered: the angle. Number 1, angle of the tree to the ground. Number 2, the height of the tree. Number 3, on the bottom left, the integrity of the tree. And okay, number 4, the wind patterns. All these things are important. And you know, the integrity of the tree. And this was a 3-point rule I talked about Friday. You know, about having three parts of your body in contact with that stand the whole time. Always lean forward and maintain 3 points. And really and truly, you want, you know, make sure you bring your, this is not mentioned here, make sure you bring your weapon up with a rope and all. Make sure that gun's unloaded, and don't try to take your gun up and all that stuff. And we've come a long way as far as tree stands and all, but it's I started looking last night at tree stand accidents. It's just amazing to me. There's so many testimonials. Okay, right here. I could go on. I could spend 2 days of shows telling about these accidents. You can just go down the line and all about. All these are tree stand accidents. Falling 25 feet, just on and on. All these are fatalities: Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Maryland, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Different ages. It does not discriminate on the ages. Guys in the 40s, teenagers, guys in the 60s, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Iowa, Arkansas, and all kind of different ways they fell out. A lot of them are paralyzed. They just fell straight down and paralyzed. So on and on about tree stand safety. But the main culprit of those ladders that you climb, these big box stands where you sort of with 4 corners and all, you just climb up about 6 feet. I have a couple of those. Those are pretty safe compared to climbing those ladders and getting up there, seeing a long way. Those single ladders, leaning up against a tree, and it's just so, you know, you think they're safe and all, it's so secure, so confident, and next thing you know, boom, you have that accident. And like I say, I've read story after story. I know people, I know 3 different men that's fallen out of tree stands that really hurt, okay? So just be careful. I'm only gonna talk about one time this year about giving these examples and all. So be careful in your tree stand. If wives, if you go with your husband and all, make sure, or husband, if you take your wife and all, make sure y'all are safe. And one other thing too, this guy brought up this great point. Make sure that you have your cell phone on your body, okay? Have it with you. Don't sit it in the tree stand, or don't sit it out of the way. Don't leave it on the ground. Keep it on your body, because if you do fall, you're hanging by your harness, you can call. I thought that was a really good, valid point. Just have it with you. And this is a great testimony for having electronics with you in the stand, okay? So make sure you can reach it. Let's take a break, and listen, we're gonna get ready to take a break. We'll come back and watch this video. This is one I put together, CEOPA, a little general overview. And then there was that Saturday afternoon, there was some facility there that took injured birds and all, and they had those on display, and we could actually get up close and personal to the birds. So you're gonna see some good bird video in this, and then we'll come back at the end of the video. So we'll be right back with the video. Okay, up on the hill is the conference center, and a picnic area here, overlooking the marina. And then, of course, that's Kentucky Lake, where this is like a little cove area. And then we're about well, not that far. We'll get away from, you can't even see the hotel we're staying in. Down here is what we call the breakout, where different sponsors will be coming. This is one of the prettiest locations we ever had for the breakout. And of course, you can't get a bunch of outdoorsmen together unless you're gonna have a fish fry, and they're getting it fired up over here. And this is Kentucky Parks and Recreation, or Kentucky Wildlife. They're Getting the displays all set up. Up on the hill is the hotel. All right, it's interesting over here. Let's see what we got. I see some birds. Oh man, I see an eagle. Hogs. Look at this eagle.
We try to compliment them a lot, especially when they do what we want. Good girl. Good job, Circe. Very good.
Tell us about him.
Oh, okay. This is Shrewd. Shrewd is the barn now. He came to us as a fledgling, which means he was really, really young. Had a lot of baby fluff. So we've basically raised him since he was little bitty. He's about 8 months old now. He hasn't been on very many presentations, but he loves people. So if you want to be his friend, he will let you be his friend.
Well, I can.
Currently, he has a toe injury. As you can see right here, he had to have part of it amputated. That's another reason that he's with us. He also has a tendon issue in one of his legs, so he won't be able to hunt or be released. But this is our little Cheroot.
Very good. Oh, I sprayed him down. Look at that, folks. Tell us about that bird.
All right, this is Zoso, and Zoso is a great horned owl. We've had Zoso for going on about 7 years now. Zoso come in and he was trapped in a barbed wire fence. He actually still had the barbed wire hanging all throughout his wing.
Oh man.
It did cause a break, and what happened is the bones are actually hollow. So a lot of the times when they heal back, it'll heal back solid with a calcium deposit, and that's what happened to him. And it was actually at a joint. And what that did for him, it also not only made the bone so dense that it cut down on flight, but it also cut down on his motion. So he actually he can still flap his wing and he can jump, but he actually cannot still sustain flight.
Okay. Cool.
Zoso is, like I said, he's a great horned owl. They get their name by the two ear tufts that stick up on the top of their head, but that's actually not their ears.
Yeah, that's not the ears, right?
They're actually located on the side of the head, about where that black disc starts, outside the brown, and they're offset. One's higher and one's lower.
Oh, cool.
These guys start out with a grip pressure of around 500 pounds per square inch, and reportedly can get up over 2,000. And they have 2-inch talons to go with it. Very strong and very aggressive. They are the largest species of owl that we do have in the region.
Right.
This is a Legion, and a Legion is one of our bald eagles that we have at our facility. A Legion come from us from North Carolina. She was saved. They think she was shot, and it actually took off part of her wingtip. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but in comparison, it's like a human losing his hand.
Yeah.
She can glide, but she actually can't fly for that reason. So North Carolina had her, and they had several, so they put her up for adoption, sort of like with Zoso. And we put in the paperwork, and we were lucky enough to get her. We've had her for about 2 years. And she actually did get sick from that injury. Set up an infection in the wing. And it took about a year, we had to put her on quarantine, it took about a year to actually get it completely healed up. So this is only her second presentation inside of the last year. So
Okay.
this is Circe, and Circe is a Harris hawk. These guys are native to out west, anywhere there's a nice hot, humid desert or dry desert climate for them, Arizona, Texas, places like that. Circe's story is a little different than some of our guys. There's actually nothing wrong with her, except for the part she was used in falconry. She was used in falconry for about 20 to 25 years, give or take a few. Oh, easy. Get back up here. Good girl. After which her last hunt, she did break both of her legs.
Oh.
And the vet was able to set them back correctly, or mostly correctly, but he said if it happened again, she would actually have to be put down because it was so severe. So her falconer loving her so much, he actually retired her from falconry and put her in a breeding program for about 4 years because she was very good at falconry. So we wanted to reproduce that gene. Easy. After which he put her up for adoption, and we were lucky enough to get her paperwork, get the federal permits to have her, and she flew Delta to us.
Okay. Well, tell us about your center, your nature center. Where is it?
We're actually out of Somerset, Kentucky, which is southeastern Kentucky, out of Pulaski County. We've actually just become the Liberty Nature Center over the last 4 years. I think we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary. Before then, we were actually the Southwestern Rehab Center. We were connected with my high school. I started in 2010 as a freshman in high school and followed it through. And when I graduated, our teacher actually retired that year. And she split apart, and so she could open it up to the rest of the county and anybody else that wanted to come in and help. And so I'm in college. I'm actually getting my degree in wildlife management. So it's great for me because I can come and keep gaining this experience so that it'll help me later on.
Okay, tell us your name.
My name's Mason.
Mason?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my grandson's named Mason right here. Mason, what do you think about meeting Mason? Well, this is really cool. That's some great work there. Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome.
All right, this one looks familiar.
Yeah. This is Cody, and Cody is a black vulture. He's one of the other 2 types of species of vulture that we have in the area, in the region. Cody's story is a lot different than some of our birds. We've actually had Cody since he was 3.5 hours old.
Ooh.
A farmer back home, his barn blew down. He was a chicken farmer. So when he was sifting through the rubble, he found Cody's egg. So he assumed it was a chicken egg he put under one of his hens. And when it hatched, he realized it was not a chicken. We do like to say the chicken kind of rubbed off on Cody, though, because Cody's afraid of everything. Rain, snow, thunder, lightning, falling leaves. And he's actually afraid of heights as well. But Cody, for that reason, Cody is a human imprint. So he does not realize that he is a vulture. He thinks he's a human, but he acts more like a dog, really and truly. He's a good boy. Everybody thinks they're actually really nasty creatures, but really, when it comes down to it, they're actually very clean.
They serve a big purpose in
Oh, absolutely. They clean up our environment. But the reason he doesn't have any feathers on his head, no, he thinks I have food. The reason they don't have feathers on their head is to actually keep their heads clean and from getting bacteria up underneath the feathers when they're digging through a carcass.
Okay.
And you see the white on his feet. Their feet are actually black like the rest of their body. But they actually will poo on their feet. And there's an enzyme in their stool that actually breaks down and kills the bacteria to help keep them clean. Stop.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Mason, I appreciate this tour, and our viewers are going to appreciate it. Tell us, now, where do you go to college?
Right now, I'm at our community college for one more semester, and then I'll be at Eastern Kentucky.
And you're going to major in
wildlife management, but more specifically wildlife biology.
Very good. And what do you want to go into? Just
something like this, a rehab program, or I'd love to work over here at LBL, maybe at the nature station, something like that.
Very good. Well, good luck to you, and we appreciate what you do with our wildlife.
You're very welcome, sir.
All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that video. It's really good. We'll get back to it in a second. But let's look at our fishing game times right now while we're thinking about it. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 8:45 to 10:45 this morning, and this evening from 9:09 to 11:09. Like I said, these nights, the next couple of nights, should be some really good flounder gigging weather. Now on the video, before we get again, the decals, we have them here at Fox 28. And we're going to get Donna, ask Donna if she don't mind passing them out. If you want to drive by the station, we're here in the 700 block of West 23rd Street, and just knock on the door or ring the doorbell and ask Donna if she'll give you a decal. I'm going to leave some with her, and like I said, I'll go to ball games and all different places, and I'm going to leave some down at, try to get some down at C&G maybe, and Sunjammers have some. and maybe get some over toward Blue Water and pass out these winter decals for Panhandle Outdoors. Okay, now talk about the video a second. It was really, it's fun going up there, like I say, but first of all, the birds, the different birds, the eagle and the buzzard and the owls, they're just fascinating birds, but get up that close to them and all those were injured birds, and they just rehab them. We have a place here that does it. Alaqua, I believe, does some of that kind of stuff, and different communities have different places to rehab the injured animals and all, so it's really good to see, and some of them can't be released in the wild like that, but getting back just to the CIOPA conference, I want to wrap up. I saw the video I have. I could have shot a lot of different videos, but I just want to put the camera down and enjoyed going to the meetings and seeing people and conversing with them and seeing their love of the outdoors and their ability to communicate it. And like I said, we lost a couple of really close people to us and all, and it was just really joyful. Now, next year, the conference is going to be in South Carolina. Out there, I forget what places in South Carolina, and then the following year it's going to be in Mississippi. They rotate it around each year. But I hope you enjoy. I try to share these things with you. Some great, and Tess Jolly, who does the photography, she spent some really good quality time with my two granddaughters, Whit and Ashley, telling them about outdoor photography and all. They're interested in doing some outdoor photography. So she's passing on not only to my grandkids, but a lot of other people too. And that's sort of our destiny as far as outdoorsmen, is pass on our love and our knowledge and our skills of the outdoors to the next generation, so they can enjoy it as much as we have. So that's sort of what CIOPA does, and that's why they're so close to my heart and all. So I want to share this with you and these things we do there, and I'll share some of Tess's photography along with some other people's, and so all this sort of all comes together, blends together as just great outdoor examples, and they just still fascinated that we have a daily outdoor TV show. They just can't get over that we can do this every day, and but they're very supportive of us. So anyway, gonna wrap it up for today. Glad you watched. Appreciate it. You have a great day at work. Always do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.